Ei, Bob Esponja, você prefere água viva ou Coca-Cola?
É claro que água viva, né?
Ei, Carlão Bobadão, você prefere água viva ou Coca-Cola?
É claro que eu preciso Coca-Cola, por isso que eu estou bem mais forte. Coca-Cola é muito mais saudável.
Ei, Patrick, você prefere água viva ou Coca-Cola?
É claro que Coca-Cola. Patrick Estrela ama uma Coca-Cola.
Lula Molusco, você prefere água viva ou Coca-Cola?
Eu prefiro Coca-Cola. Ei, Plankton, água viva ou Coca-Cola?
Eu quero a receita desse hambúrguer.
Se você prefere Coca-Cola, deixa um like. E se você prefere água viva, se inscreve no canal.
Seu siriguejo, você prefere água
That
viva
video
ou Coca-Cola?
zero respect. I hate that one. Who even subscribed to that guy? Mr. Why, Mr. Miley? Eminem, GFX HL. Okay, guys, so we have this guy, Zavadi Films. 15 hours ago, 2. Okay, let's see.
The 7 barrels on the gun were fired at once and were designed for war at sea. But the force of shooting 7 bullets pushed the gun violently backwards. And it was so strong that it could break your shoulder, especially if you were shooting from the ship's sails. That's because you'd have no solid footing to absorb the kick. So the force would travel directly into your bones. And it could even knock you right out of the ropes, meaning you'd break more than just your shoulder. The 7 barrels on the gun. A blind man grabbed its tusk and was left thinking that the elephant was smooth and pointy like a spear. Another blind man wrapped his arms around a leg, thinking that the entire animal was thick and round like a tree. The third blind man touched the ear and thought the elephant was wide and floppy like a wing. When it walked away, the 3 men were left arguing, each one sure that he was right about what it must look like. But none of them had the full picture. Each had only a small part of the truth, but mistook it for the whole. And if they had listened to each other, they might just have realized what they were missing. When you inhale a cigarette, your airways get covered in a sticky black tar, making it hard to breathe. The chemicals kill the tiny hair-like structures inside that help clear out mucus and dirt. And without them, harmful substances build up, causing infections and coughing. Over time, the smoke scars your lung tissue, making them stiff and weak. And eventually, your lungs become too damaged to function, leaving you unable to breathe on your own. When you inhale, as they released the 1.5 million balloons, people were cheering. But soon, a sudden storm forced the balloons back down, blanketing highways and causing car accidents. Planes and helicopters were grounded as balloons filled the air and landed on runways. 2 fishermen went missing around that time. But as searchers looked, balloons flooded the lake, halting rescue efforts. Click here to watch the full story. As they released in 1986, 1.5 million balloons were released in downtown Cleveland.
Cleveland has now broken the Guinness Book of World Records and released over 1 million.
This was meant to be a charity fundraiser and a way to put the growing city of Cleveland on the map. But instead of being remembered as an impressive spectacle, it would go down in history as a fatal disaster. The event was called Balloon Fest, and it was Cleveland's way of trying to rebrand. You see, at the time, they had a pretty rough reputation, which was exemplified by its well-known nickname. City leaders wanted to prove that Cleveland wasn't a mistake, and that it was well on its way to becoming a world-class city. The previous year, Disneyland had claimed the Guinness World Record for the biggest simultaneous balloon launch. And for some reason, the city leaders thought that outdoing Disneyland was the perfect way to start cleaning up Cleveland's image. Soon after, the United Way of Cleveland developed their ambitious plan to launch nearly 1,500,000 balloons over the city. The event required 6 months of planning, including the construction of a net the size of a city block. It took thousands of volunteers hours to fill the balloons. And finally, on September 27th, 1986, the day of Balloon Fest arrived. As these final preparations were underway in downtown Cleveland, a very different story was unfolding just to the east on Lake Erie. The previous night, a severe storm had rolled through the area.
I do want to remind everybody in part of Ohio, we continue with that severe thunderstorm watch until 1 a.m.
And about an hour before the storm, 2 men had gone out fishing. On the morning of the 27th, the day of Balloon Fest, the 2 men were reported missing by their families. Their boat was found abandoned on the lake, and authorities suspected that the men had fallen overboard because of the weather. The Coast Guard immediately began a search and rescue operation. Meanwhile, in Cleveland's public square, over 100,000 people had gathered to witness the balloon launch. The organizers were pleased that last night's storm had cleared in time for the event to go forward. But as the day wore on, the weather once again took a turn for the worse. A major rainstorm was closing in, but the balloons were already filled and ready to go. Rescheduling at this point would be near impossible. So instead, they released the balloons ahead of schedule.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here they go. Liftoff. Amazing. And the fan is up. There they go, John. The Guinness Book of World Record has just been broken in Cleveland. Over 1,500,000 balloons.
There was no doubt about it. The launch was spectacular.
We did it!
It was a tremendous moment of triumph for the city of Cleveland. But unfortunately, this moment of triumph did not last long. The expectation was that the helium-filled balloons would float around for a while before eventually deflating and returning to Earth one by one. But that wasn't what happened.
And the wind has just shifted just enough that the balloons are now trailing fast.
This is beautiful. The balloons are coming back this way.
They're coming back.
The cold air and oncoming rain immediately pushed the still inflated balloons, tens of thousands of them, back down towards the ground in droves. The result was mass chaos.
Balloons, 1.5 million of them, caused quite a stir in Cleveland yesterday. It was part
A
of
northerly wind quickly carried the balloons to Burke Lakefront Airport, and within minutes, the runways were so clogged that all flights had to be suspended. The balloons also started to descend on certain streets, and after a number of car accidents, these roads had to be closed until a bulldozer arrived to clear out the balloons. As all this was going on, the Coast Guard was still out looking for the 2 missing fishermen.
Ironically, that big balloon launch in Cleveland today is one of the things that's making this search so tough for the Coast Guard.
Balloons had descended on Lake Erie in massive quantities.
60% of the balloons launched landed here instead of the planned 10%.
It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack here.
Can you imagine trying to find somebody floating out here or even spotting a life jacket with all these balloons on the water?
On September 29th, 2 days after the balloons were launched, the Coast Guard finally called off the search for the 2 missing fishermen. And shortly after, both men's bodies washed ashore. Balloon Fest was featured in the 1988 edition of the Guinness Book of World Records. However, that was the only edition to include it. And shortly after, Guinness ended the category of balloon launching altogether.
Today, we're meeting people you'll never believe exist. We'll be racing against the world's fastest man with no legs and fighting against the world's heaviest sumo wrestler. These people have either developed their unique talents over time or were born with a rare genetic condition. And while some of them struggle to live a normal life, most have transformed their disorders into their greatest strengths. Here, we have the world's hairiest man. But some have called me the real-life werewolf. He has a hair growth disorder so rare it only affects 1 in every 1 billion people. All right, guys, we have a very special person who would like you to meet. Whoa! That's so cool! You got hair all over your body. I mean, not everywhere. Give me them hairy balls. seen that video before. You're the weird one. Yeah, no, I understand. And this is just the first of 7 extraordinary people we're meeting today. Meet Zion. What's so rare about him? Oh. Zion was born without legs, but he doesn't let his disorder define him. Shut up! He's built different. So in order to find out who is the most athletic, we set up a series of challenges that we'll be competing against him in, starting with rope climbing. Should we give him a head start? I don't think so. Gymnast here versus pro wrestler. Who's gonna win? Gymnasts are Let's go. Okay, then 3, 2, 1, go! Ah! Go, 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 go! Ah! No! Alex! Come on! No! Somebody help me now! Help me now! Somebody help me now! You might have won here, but we actually have someone who's claiming to be faster than you on 2 hands that you're gonna race later. Yeah, who is it? We'll find out later. Zion actually holds the world record for the fastest man on 2 hands. But before we test his speed, we wanted to test his strength. Zion can also lift 3 times his body weight. And we have 315 pounds here to test that.
It's easy. Let me try.
Come on. Don't tell me what to do.
Come on, get off the bench.
You weigh 315 pounds.
I'll show you. I can whip my
Here we go. Oh my God! All right. Ready, Tanner? Ready, Tanner? Go! You got it, Tanner? Go down. Go down. Go down. That's how you do it. You guys have no idea how impressive this is.
You think this is real strength? This isn't real strength. How will you fight me?
Little does Tanner know, Zion isn't just a professional wrestler. He's also an MMA fighter. So even though Tanner has a huge size advantage, this fight won't be easy. Now we're gonna settle this beef once and for all. Let's see who can submit who. In 3, 2, 1, go! Fighting. You leave my friends alone! You're the gymnast that makes him a Don't talk about my butt! Hey, he tapped out! He tapped out! Oh, woo! That's how you do it. And now it's finally time to see just how fast Zion is. So we offered him a ride to the racetrack, but he insisted on giving us a ride. How can you be good at everything you do? That's right. Even without legs, Zion can drive a car with the help of these custom-made driving sticks. I guess you do have legs after all.
So, you got a dick?
Now, before we do the actual race to find out if you're the fastest man on 2 hands, we're gonna do a warm-up race with these 2 first.
You're going down!
Yeah!
All right, come on, let's see it. I've roleplayed crawling before, so
Yeah?
Come on,
In 3, 2, 1, go!
That's like a light jog right there.
He might be faster than you guys, but is he going to be faster than the new record holder for the fastest time on 2 hands? Let's find out. Zion, close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes.
They're closed, dog.
Closing your eyes, and we'll tell you when to open, okay? Make sure they're closed.
Yeah.
All right, you can open your eyes.
Hey.
We're doing this, right? We're doing this. In 3, 2, 1,
How'd you lose? He has no legs.
He's got one leg. Now give me the ball. Give me the ball. Our next rare person is the real-life Aquaman.
He comes from a tribe in the Philippines whose lungs have genetically evolved over time to hold their breaths 10 times longer than the average person. And to find out if he has lungs or not, we've set up a series of challenges to test it out.
For this challenge, you have to pop all the balloons underwater with your spear. But the twist is, you have to do it in one breath. You think you could do that? Easy. Oh, he's off! He's already off! Come on, Soman, you got this! He's doing it! On to the third one!
I would have given that already.
And it's also like 30 degrees out, so I don't know how he's doing this. He's halfway done! Hang in there! You got this!
Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
Andrew, I don't think he can hear you. He's stupid. Come on, two more! Two more! Oh my God! Just one more lap! Come on!
Aquaman.
Hey, he made it look way too easy. But this next challenge is going to be a lot harder. To test how evolved your lungs are, let's see if you can break the world record for the longest breath hold underwater. And if you can keep whatever's inside that mystery box. The current record is 24 minutes and 37 seconds. Take a deep breath and begin whenever you're ready. In 3, 2, 1. So he's got about 24 minutes left to go. So I'm gonna leave and we're gonna check back on him later. While we wait for Aquaman to resurface, we'll be meeting another superhuman with an unusual talent. Up next, we have the real-life Mr. Fantastic.
Hi, guys.
Or should I say, Mrs. Fantastic. This is Sophie Dawsey, also known as the girl who was born with no spine. She's the most flexible person in the world, and she can fit her body into almost anything. And today, we're putting Sophie to the test to finally answer, does she have a spine? So to see just how flexible Sophie is, we're all gonna be doing a flexibility challenge by seeing who can split the furthest.
Montana, you can't lose to a girl.
Hey. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, everyone ready? Go! 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm starting to feel it. 4, 5. How's everyone doing? This is easy.
Yeah, super easy.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh! I see Alan struggling. No. Alan is struggling. 14. 15. 16. I give up.
Should we go for 17?
So your average person tapped out at 16. To be fair, I'm not average. 17. 18. All right, let's find out how many Sophie can get. Oh my God!
28's a full split. Now just going back.
Oh my gosh, this is a joke. There's no way she can do this, and a professional gymnast like me can't do it.
Now, we're gonna have Sophie fit into incredibly tight places.
That was easy.
They're only gonna get tighter and tighter, so we'll see how you do. Starting with this shopping cart.
This is actually very spacious.
Now, we're gonna see if she can fit in this tiny dryer.
They're normally a little bit bigger than this, but we're gonna try this.
Wait, how's she doing this? How's she
in there? No way she fits in there.
I think I'm in.
Oh my God.
No, Now for the important question. What do you mean by Alex would not be able to fit in here? What are you trying to imply?
That's what I was saying. Why would you say that?
I never said.
All right, Sophie, now let's see if you can fit inside this tiny little container.
This actually will be a little hard.
I don't think you guys realize how tiny this is.
This is actually crazy.
Oh my god! No way! Tanner, pick it up. Oh my god! She's able to fit in here! Now for the final level, a tennis racket. To put into perspective how small this tennis racket is, I'm gonna attempt to fit in here first. Okay, here we go. I'm going in. Okay.
Okay, now get your other arm in there. Yeah.
There you go. I'm telling you guys right now, I've been on a crazy shoulder workout program recently. My shoulders are getting too wide.
Yeah, it's your shoulders.
Okay, well, if she can fit in this, then it's definitely a flexibility issue that I have. Okay. Whoa. What the? See, I can't do that. I'm her exact same size. I can't do that because I have a flexibility issue. Oh, that is impressive. See, guys, see, if he could do that, that's the only way he would be able to fit through this racket.
Yeah.
It's like a, it's like one of those like puzzle things.
Like if you do the back.
And while we wait for Alex to put a shirt on, let's check back in on Aquaman.
We're at 10 minutes now. This guy isn't human.
This record is literally impossible to break. I don't know if you can do it.
Hey, can you hear me?
Tanner, leave him alone.
You stupid.
And now it's finally time to see if Sophie has a spine. So we just got back from taking x-rays to find out if Sophie has a spine or not. Let's check out the results.
Actually, I don't think I'm ready to show everyone yet.
You're not ready to show the world if you have a spine or not?
No, I don't know about that.
All right, well, how about this? If you can pop all 3 of these balloons using a bow and arrow and only your feet to shoot it, you don't have to show the results.
Okay, then I'll do this.
And Sophie conveniently already has the bow and arrow here. I think she's trying to shoot off some fat, she was telling me.
I never said that!
Sophie will only get 1 arrow to pop all 3 balloons, so she better make this shot count. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, so the world's not gonna know if you have a spine or not?
No.
Wait, hold on. Wait, so you just have scoliosis?
No.
You do have a spine!
At least I don't have obesity.
Dude, it's not even that big. You know, I think the answer was, it's not does she have a spine, it's does she have a heart?
And I don't think she does.
Mm-hmm.
We're at 13 minutes and it looks like he's struggling.
Hang in there! You got this!
Come on!
Come on, Tobin, you got this! Please! No! Okay, his time was 13 minutes and 25 seconds. A little over 10 minutes left. That was still super impressive.
I really wonder what was inside that mystery box.
I say we give him what's inside a mystery box.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah. What's this?
It's a portable oxygen tank so you can hold your breath longer. Did you need one of us to take you back to the airport?
You know, I guess I think I'm gonna swim back.
What? What is he doing? While Aquaman swims back home to the Philippines, Sean and Tanner will be meeting up with our next genetically gifted individual.
Strong grip.
Dang, his hands are big! This is Jeff, the man with the world's largest arms and hands. Not even doctors know why he was born this way, so he truly is one of a kind.
Wait, is that your wedding ring?
Yes.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll marry you.
What?
Oh my God.
Clearly for Jeff, not everything is one size fits all. Even texting is difficult for him.
So apparently he doesn't use an iPhone. He actually uses a flip phone.
Since the letters are bigger, it's just easier to type on.
And even though Jeff has the biggest arms in the world, he wants them to be even bigger. So he built his own gym.
Custom equipment too.
Look how thick this is.
Okay, I can't. And look at all these trophies. In case you haven't heard, Jeff is also one of the best arm wrestlers in the world.
Are all these from arm wrestling?
Yes. We're definitely gonna have to arm wrestle in.
You bet.
So Jeff showed us his garage where he does all his specialized arm wrestling training.
Wait, so this is what you do for your training?
Yep.
Let me try it. I can't move it.
Okay, can you do it? How? You make it look so easy. Now, it's time for the ultimate arm wrestling showdown. Sean versus Jeff.
3, 2, 1, go! All right, Tanner, you try.
In an up to stakes, Jeff agreed that if Tanner could beat him, he would give Tanner his world championship belt.
3, 2, 1, go!
You may have defeated us, but I have a trick up my sleeve.
Wait, who is that? This is Jason Remmer, also known as the Mighty Oak, a fellow arm wrestling world champion and one of Jeff's fiercest rivals.
In 3, 2, 1, go! Woo! He's doing it! Hey, no!
It looks like you get to keep your belt. You are the champion.
But before we meet our next person who defies the laws of human biology, there's one last thing we needed to ask Jeff.
So, what happens when you clap your hands?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Come on.
All right.
And Jeff isn't the only world champion in this video. Next up, we have the world's heaviest sumo wrestler. Meet Rami, a 4-time world champion sumo wrestler, weighing in at over 500 pounds. Before we see how strong and athletic Rami is, we're gonna see how much he eats compared to the average person by having an eating competition.
I'm hungry.
There's no way you can out-eat the 4 of us. I'm not you. So we have 2 10,000-calorie pizzas here, and the 4 of us will attempt to finish ours before Rami finishes his. Guys, remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint, okay? Oh my God. Guys, come on, everybody faster. You're telling us. Wait, how is he already 2 slices down, guys? Hurry up. Oh my God.
He's like this. He's like that. I don't know how much more
I don't even like pizza.
I love pizza. I love it.
Oh my God.
All right, guys, I'm trying. He's already halfway done. Guys, pick it up. Tanner, you're letting me down, man. Wait, is he about to do 2 at the same time? Oh my God! Tanner, please. Tanner, eat the rest. Come on. Tanner, please. Tanner, eat the rest. It's not over yet. You got this, Alex. You got this.
Loser.
To find out how strong he is compared to the average person, the 3 of us are gonna see if we can beat him in a game of tug of war. Ready?
I like your strategy. Heaviest guy in the pack. Let's see what he can do.
3, 2, 1, go! I got it! Oh my God! That is one strong man! At least we made him fall! Now to show everyone just how powerful and athletic Rami is, we'll each be sumo wrestling him to find out how many of us it takes to stop one man.
Next.
Now let's see if 2 people can take Rami on.
Next.
Now we're gonna see if 4 of us can stop the world's heaviest sumo wrestler. Go! It's working! With one finger?
Too easy.
Now, we have everyone we know to find out if that's enough to stop the world's heaviest sumo wrestler. Go! That hurt!
Alright! Nobody hurts! Fly! Swim! I ain't done, buddy! You're going down!
As they
Nobody, and I mean nobody, hurts my shoulder. Bubba ain't going down that easy. Oh, failed you, Sean. Come on, just one sniff, come on. Give me one sniff, come on. You hurt my tongue. I'm gonna beat your ass too. I'm gonna sniff you off. What this mean? You wanna find out.
Is that what you got?
Oh my God.
Back for more ass kicking,
More ass sniffing.
my turn.
And while we headed to the hospital, Tanner flew all the way to India to meet our last gifted individual.
For the next smart person, I'm meeting.
Hello there.
Conjoined twins.
Well, actually, two individuals. This is Sona and Mona. They're conjoined twins, so they were literally born attached at the hip. They have two hearts, two pair of arms, but only 2 feet.
I can't believe I'm with conjoined twins.
Yeah, the other twins.
Oh, you're right. Wait, let me call them.
Yes.
Hey!
We want to meet you.
We're actually filming a video right now, but we'd also love to meet you guys. So here's what we'll do. If this video gets 500,000 likes, we'll fly all the way to India and spend 24 hours with you guys. That way everyone knows what your lives are like as conjoined twins.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you guys soon. All right, you guys better like it up and subscribe because you don't want to miss this video.
As they released the 1.5, if you get struck by lightning, most people think you die. But that's not always the case. The current is hotter than the sun's surface and can cause severe burns that leave marks in the shape of lightning. But some of the current might still reach inside you, affecting the brain and causing confusion. It can also disrupt your heart's rhythm, so if you do die from a lightning strike, it's most likely to be from a heart attack. If you get struck by the wave, slammed him into the ocean floor, breaking his neck and leaving him paralyzed. After waiting 3 hours for an ambulance, he finally made it to the hospital. But doctors demanded thousands of dollars just to bring him inside. After handing over even more money, he was finally operated on a day later. But they fixed the wrong vertebrae and even refused to wear gloves, causing a serious infection. Finally, he was rushed back home and treated properly, allowing him to recover. The prisoner's brain is scanned, and fake memories are custom built for them. These are designed to make them feel guilty for their crimes and are created by AI. Lasers are then used to store them in the prisoner's DNA. And this process only takes a few minutes. Once they have the new memories, the prisoner is monitored and released within days. This method has already been tested on animals, meaning these prisons could be a reality within the next 10 years. The prisoners, they shot the dog walker in the chest so they could steal the dogs and demand a ransom. You see, these dogs actually belonged to Lady Gaga, but instead of paying, she offered $500,000 to anyone who returned them. A few days later, a woman turned them in, claiming the prisoners, they shot the dog walker in the chest so they could steal the dogs and demand a ransom. You see, these dogs actually belonged to Lady Gaga, but instead of paying, she offered $500,000 to anyone who returned them. A few days later, a woman turned them in, claiming she found them tied to a pole. But police got suspicious and discovered she was actually one of the dog nappers. The woman pleaded guilty, but then sued Lady Gaga for not paying the reward. They shot the dog. When early humans pooped, they didn't have to wipe. And this was because they squatted instead of sitting, which helped everything come out quickly. And they also ate a lot of raw plants, which were full of fiber. This made their poop firm and dry, so nothing really stuck. But as we started eating softer, processed foods, our poop became stickier. Now, instead of coming out clean, it smears as it's pushed out, which means wiping is necessary. When the couple woke from their sleep as fires tore through the neighborhood, they tried to escape by car, but the flames had already surrounded them. With no way out, they jumped into a neighbor's pool. For the next 6 hours, they stayed underwater, only coming up for air. Tragically, they were forced to watch as their home was completely destroyed. But finally, the fire died down, and they climbed out, exhausted but alive. The couple, the day after you die, most of your blood settles in the parts of your body closest to the ground, causing purple and red patches to appear on the skin. Then, bacteria and enzymes break down the organs, releasing gas that causes bloating. After a few weeks, all of the organs and soft tissue, including your eyes, liquefy, and your skin starts to fall off. And over the course of several years, your remaining tissue continues to decay, and eventually all that's left is a skeleton. The day they saw strange footprints in the snow leading to their house, but they didn't see any leaving, meaning the person was still inside. Their keys went missing, and they heard footsteps in the attic at night. Then, one by one, they were lured to the barn and killed with a pickaxe. The murderer went inside and killed the rest of the family, but the investigators found something shocking. After the murders, the killer stayed at the house for days, feeding the livestock and even cooking meals. Despite several investigations, no one was ever caught, and this case still remains unsolved. They saw he was born with 3 legs, 4 feet, and 2 sets of genitals. And because it was too risky to remove them, they stayed attached. As he grew up, he became a performer, rising quickly to fame because of his extra limbs. But these limbs actually belonged to the man's unborn twin. You see, when they were in his mother's womb, they failed to separate, and one fetus became attached to the other, leaving him with extra body parts. He was born. If a snake were swallowing you, it would pull your feet and legs into its mouth, while muscle contractions worked to slowly pull you in further. As more of you enters the snake, you start to feel a squeezing pressure as the snake's muscles His arm got stuck in the metal slot as he tried to steal a soda. Someone called for help, and firefighters tried to free him. But even though they hacked at the machine with axes, the boy's arm remained stuck. Finally, they protected him with a blanket before using a powerful saw to cut through the thick metal. And after an hour, he was set free, leaving his arm numb and the machine in ruins. His arm got... If a cannonball was shot at you while you were wearing a bulletproof vest, it would tear right through your body instantly. Even with 20 vests stacked together, it would hit you with almost the same impact, plowing right through. At 100 vests, some energy would be absorbed, but the force of impact would still break your bones and crush your organs. Now, if you were to stack 5,000 vests, creating a wall dozens of feet thick, you would finally stop the cannonball. But the force would still travel through the vests, and since they're attached to you, you'd still be thrown to the ground. If a cannonball was shot at you, he had nails driven through their hats and into their skulls. And he did this after they refused to take them off in his home. He also liked to impale his enemies, leaving thousands of rotting corpses as a warning. Now, his name was Vlad, and his father was called Drackle, which meant devil. That made Vlad Dracula, meaning son of the devil. And that name would go on to inspire Count Dracula. He had when you eat corn, it looks like corn comes out whole in your poop. So what would happen if you ate nothing but corn? Would your poop be a pure chunk of corn? Well, the inside of the corn is actually still digested. It's only the shell of the corn that comes out whole, because your body can't break it down. So the insides would still turn into regular poop, meaning it would come out as a brown and yellow mess. If you collected all the grease from your hair, you'd have around 1 gram of oil per day. And after about 2 years, you'd have enough to fry a single corn dog. Now, deep frying a whole turkey would take about 27 years of collected hair grease. And if you kept gathering it for over 500 years, you'd have about 60 gallons, which is enough oil to deep fry an entire pig. If you collect As they guided the camera in, they found a dead fly inside his intestines, and somehow it was completely undigested, with no signs of damage. Now, if he had swallowed it, his stomach acid would have immediately broken it down, and it seems impossible that it would have went up his butt. To this day, experts still have no idea how the fly ended up inside him. As they guided the camera, he would bite down on a metal. They taped up his arms and legs. If you hooked up an electric eel to an electric chair, it would only produce a small shock. Enough to sting, but not enough to be deadly. If you added 50 eels, the shock would be painful, but still not strong enough to kill. Now, with 500 hooked up, the voltage would reach deadly levels, but only for a brief moment. Now, if you managed to hook up 1,000 eels, the electric chair would deliver a powerful and fatal shock, just like a real execution. If you hooked up, the tick bit her and eventually caused her to slide the card into the gap between the door and the frame right where the latch is. Then angle it slightly and push it against the slanted side. As you apply pressure, the latch starts to slide into the door, loosening its grip on the door frame. Now wiggle the card while pushing the door. This will fully loosen it, and once it slips back, the door will swing open. Slide the card. If you fired a bullet while swinging your arm, you might think you could curve the bullet around an object. But when a bullet leaves the barrel, it travels in a straight line. And even if you swung the gun at superhuman speeds, the bullet would always come out straight. The only way to shoot around an object is by bending the barrel of the gun. But if the angle is too sharp, the bullet could get stuck and the gun would explode. If you fire, he leapt into the air, let out a whistle, and finished with a perfectly timed fart, right in front of the king. It was part of a carefully rehearsed performance, and the king loved it. Every Christmas, he put on his act for the ruler and his court, and in return, he was given land, a house, and money. But when he performed his act for the new king, he didn't think farting was funny, and he lost his status in land. He leapt into the... If you pulled out your finger bone, you could use it to write out your name 40 times. And this is because your bones contain calcium, the same thing that makes up sidewalk chalk. And if you pulled out the largest bone in your body, you could draw a line 1/2 mile long before it turned to dust. Now, if you pulled out your entire skeleton and formed it into a massive stick, you'd have enough to draw a line all the way across Manhattan. If you pulled out your finger, left in the cold, she crawled into a dog kennel for warmth and ended up staying there for 5 years. During that time, she learned to bark, growl, and walk on all fours like her canine companions. By the time she was rescued, she had lost the ability to speak and would eat like a dog, lick herself, and even pant. Authorities struggled to rescue her as the dogs fiercely protected her, but they eventually lured the pack away with food. She was reintroduced to society, but retained the animal behaviors. If a giant person sneezed on you, he took the master key. The tube is guided through your eye socket if your face is too injured for a regular breathing tube. You see, your eyes, nose, and throat are actually all connected, and when the tube is pushed through your eye, it makes its way into the open space behind your nose. From there, it's pushed downward. If you step into a tar pit, it sticks to your shoes and legs right away. As you try to get out, the thick, sticky surface begins to drag you down. The more you move, the stronger the suction gets, making escape almost impossible. And once you're completely stuck, the tar will quickly harden, causing you to sink. Eventually, the tar becomes solid around you, keeping you trapped forever. If you step in, the dog waited loyally for his owner to step off the train. She walked into the huge if a whale swallowed an air tag, tiny beetles would be crushed whenever Cleopatra wanted to wear lipstick. You see, they produced a bright red liquid, and ant eggs would be added for texture. Then everything was mixed with beeswax to make it smooth. The iconic lipstick became a statement of power and seduction. And even though makeup recipes have changed, the same beetles are still used in some lipsticks today. Tiny beetle. If you're stuck in a sauna, most people think they'll just wait it out until someone Irish pirates kidnap. If you say
Why do some footballers wear such weird shirt numbers? The most normal numbers are from 1 to 11, as it represents the player's position in the team. But some guys don't want to be that basic and pick a whole nother number. When Ronaldo signed for Inter, he was given their number 9 shirt as he was their main striker. But that same summer, they signed another striker that also wanted the number 9. So to make it work, he used the number 1 plus 8 on his shirt, which turns into 9. So he made his own rules and just put a plus mark on his shirt that he was allowed to play with for the entire season. There was a similar story with an Irish guy named Derek Reardon. He wanted the number 10 shirt, but it was already busy, and instead of picking something else, he just put 01 on his shirt. So it looked like 10 if it was flipped upside down for some reason. Then we have Sergio Ramos, who recently joined a Mexican club and wanted the number 93 for a special reason. That was the minute he scored his iconic header against Atletico Madrid, which made him win his first Champions League trophy. Why do some footballers wear such weird shirt numbers?
Everyone, we have someone new joining our class today. His name is Franklin.
He looks like an only child. They bite, don't they?
Yeah, keep your distance.
No, he looks more like the middle child. Oh, don't they have some kind of syndrome?
Ryan! What? Explain to me why you keep sleeping in my class!
Sir, if our parents read to us as kids to put us to sleep, how do you expect us to stay awake when you read to us in class?
So, Franklin, tell us a little about yourself. Where do you live?
With my parents.
Okay, where do your parents live?
With me?
No, I mean, where do you all live?
Together.
Where is your house?
Next to my neighbor's house.
All right, I'm done. Go sit down. Welcome. After that, you are now officially my disciple. Congratulations.
Morning, sir.
You're 20 minutes late.
No, I'm 20 minutes early. Class only starts at 8. It's 7:80 right now.
All right, I'm leaving. Someone else can teach you idiots. Everyone, we have someone new joining our...
Speed was taking photos with his fan, and then this happened.
He a true one. He a true one. You a true one. What's my name?
Darren Watkins Jr.
Oh.
Speed was taking taking photos with.
It's impossible to beat this man in an arm wrestling match. He has the world's largest hand.
This girl made a huge mistake when she was so locked in during training, she didn't even realize the gym had closed. And just when she thought she was completely alone, the security guard came out of nowhere and accidentally scared the boxer out of her. Do you think she overreacted? This girl made a—
Can you walk just a little slow?
This girl made a—
Can you walk just a little slower, please? Oh, what an adorable statue. I'm going to put a bit of money in its basket.
My God, what did you do? Why did you give a lot of cash to a street statue?
Why are you